Greetings, Redheads. This is J Red from Red's View. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe. Before I begin, subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. Also, follow me on all social media platforms, preferably Instagram and TikTok at JAYR3D. Now, I'm making this video. Y'all getting two videos from me today. I'm making this video in response to what I've been receiving as far as comments on the Kevin Samuels situation. I did a whole live stream that lasted for over an hour, few days ago, right? But I also posted something on TikTok as far as, the clip that I had as far as, do you think Kevin Samuels was set up? Now, I'm making this video to give you the reasons why I think that Kevin Samuels may have been killed. Because the thing is, a lot of people will ask the question, well, if he was killed, what reason would somebody have to kill him? Great question. Now, I explained this in my last video. For those who haven't seen it, make sure that you go check it out on my live stream. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet on this one. This is going to be, short. So I'm going to give you some reasons why I feel like Kevin Samuels would have had a reason to be killed. Now, you can call me a conspiracy theorist. Let's say that I am in this sense. Yes, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm reaching. I'm all of that. I'm thinking too much. I'm opinionated. All that. In the case of this video, let's just say I'm putting my tinfoil kufi hat on and giving you the reasons why I feel that Kevin Samuels may have been set up and killed. Now, the first thing that I think that sticks out is him going against the system, him going against the agenda. All right. Think about this, man. Kevin Samuels has a grassroots following, had a grassroots following in just under a year. Right? Or it took about a year. He had over 1 million followers on Instagram, over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. That means that he's up there with like The Breakfast Club, Vlad TV, outlets and media outlets that are either nationally syndicated, people on terrestrial radio, or people who've been out for years. He did that within just a year off of going viral, right? And not only did he go viral, he kept going viral. And he had millions of people, thousands of people tuning into his show every day, Monday through Friday, right? And the biggest thing that he was promoting was black marriage. If you trim out the fat, take out the bones and eat the meat, what he was talking about was structure in the black community. Now, we know what the agendas are out during this time, right? We can't be naive in this situation. We know there's an LGBTQ agenda out there. We know that there's this situation that stems from like the 60s as far as taking black men out the household. So I'm going to call it the baby daddy, baby mama agenda that's out there. And we know that there's an emasculation agenda that's out there, right? Kevin Samuels was really going against all of that, right? Now, I need my intellectual people to come in and feel me on this one, right? So if you have millions, like 1 million followers and 1 million subscribers and thousands of people that keep calling in and you're grassroots, meaning that there are no white people behind Kevin Samuels, right? There's not the dominant society behind Kevin Samuels. So no man, like to have that much influence, even if 20% of those millions of followers were to follow his principles and guidelines off of his opinion, it'll be a change in the black community just like that. But you know that there's a system put in place and there are agendas put in place to keep us feminized as black men, to keep fathers out of the household, black fathers out of the household. It's not all because of us, right? They can put the blame on black men. They can put the blame on black women. But I'm telling you, I watched this man's content and the thing that he was promoting most was marriage. I've never seen somebody on a large platform, meaning a straight black male, a male, black male. Well, let's take the sexuality of it. I've never seen a gay black man, straight black man, transgender black man promoting black marriage, meaning male and female, not, against anybody else, your sexual preference and anything like that, but on a large platform. And he did it grassroots. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that ABC, BET, do you think anybody would give him a platform to have his own show? Based off of his show alone, do you think anybody besides YouTube, which anybody can use YouTube, right? Do you think anybody else, nationally syndicated or radio, national syndicated radio or terrestrial radio, do you think anybody would have given Kevin Samuels a platform talking about what he was talking about? Because if you watch his videos, right, and this is for the people who actually watched them, In the first 30 minutes, he always would talk about what we need to do better. And then all the BS and the bullshit and the clowning and talking to women and all that stuff came a little later. But he promoted black marriage. When you promote black marriage, you go against those agendas indirectly. Think about that. So I'm thinking that white people could have saw that. And before he continued to grow, because since he grew within such a short amount of time, what would have happened if Kevin Samuels got 10 million followers? You know what I'm saying? If he would have just kept going, like, keep in mind, 1 million followers in such a short amount of time. This man hadn't even been out 2 years, but his content was mainly talking about, hey, baby mama, go work it out with your baby daddy so we can have these children raised right, so we can pass down generational wealth. And he was talking strictly to black women. Now, other women called in, but even when other race groups of women called in, he would keep it black. Right? Now, people can talk shit all day about he hated black women and everything like that. But if you watch this show, there were a lot of black women who called in and commented saying how they worked it out with their husbands, how they ended up getting married, how they became feminine, fit, cooperative, all that stuff he was talking about. So he was making a difference, like in a small percentage of people, right? The more following that he would have got, right? Because he was already in Future's video. Future's one of the biggest rappers on the planet right now. And then he booked a gig on the television show Atlanta. I don't know if that came out this week or whatever, but my point is he was doing all of this grassroots. The difference between Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, which I respect both of them. I follow Tariq all the time, right? If the difference between Kevin Samuels and all of these people, the Derek Jacksons and everything like that, he had more of a following, even though for Tariq has been out years prior, so I don't really go off social media based off that. But you can write Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson off as those just conscious, hotep, blah, 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 blah. You can write Derek Jackson off as, okay, he's just catering to women and all this other stuff, right? But Kevin Samuels was your average, everyday, go to work, move up the corporate ladder, go to college, graduate, become a member of fraternity. You got a cousin like Kevin Samuels. You got a father like Kevin Samuels, an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, cousins, relatives. We know a Kevin Samuels. You don't run into Umar Johnson everywhere. You'll run into a simp like Derek Jackson everywhere, but you're not going to run. You know a Kevin Samuels. He may have been your college professor or whatever. So I feel like he was more relatable than a lot of other people that were out here. It resonated with us. This man in a suit telling you how to up your game and different things like that. So I feel like everything that he was structuring was to better the black community. You know what I'm saying? Post-integration. Because in segregation, all we had was each other, and there were more marriages and more children being able to pass down generational wealth to their children and things like that. So his whole thing, I've never seen nobody. Let me know in the comments. Have you seen somebody with a large platform? And when we say, if you got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, you're just as big as any other entertainment company, any other television show that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? If you have 1 million people tuning into you per month, because that's what it will equal out to, then you're just up there in the ratings with everybody else. It's just you're doing it independently. So I feel like maybe they felt like, hey, we can't let him get too big, right? Now, people were going overboard comparing him to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. The only thing that I'll say about is this. I think that was kind of misconstrued, right? I wouldn't have said that, but if you're talking about influence, right? Anybody can have as much influence as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X when you think about it, right? Jay-Z, Beyonce have a lot of influence. They have probably more influence because nowadays you can reach more people. Martin Luther King was doing all of that grassroots, but you know, he was in the press and the media and stuff. But the difference between now and then is that you have the internet. So if you have a following, you're just like Adolf Hitler. You're just like Donald Trump. You're just like everybody else who has a following. So you got to think in proper context when they're talking about comparing him to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, right? Now, I'm not saying as far as him being an activist or nothing like that. But when you promote black families, that goes against what agendas are out here, right? The LGBT agenda and everything else. I've named them. I've called them out. They are agendas that are out here. Now, I think that he had also, you know, he of course he had enemies, right? Now, I don't think that black women came together and did it, right? But I do think that he pissed off a lot of people with his principles and different things like that. He was literally telling people, like men, don't have sex with overweight women because they feel like they're still winning since they're getting some type of attention. But all in all, I'm not putting it on no black woman that took him out, anything like that. It's just that it's very fishy that this woman, mysteriously, that he just met, that he argued with on his live, ended up being a nurse. People having different theories about that, saying that a nurse knows how to cause cardiac arrest. Now, from my understanding, it's not been an autopsy that's been released, but people keep saying he died from a heart attack. From my understanding, cardiac arrest doesn't mean heart attack. Cardiac arrest and heart attack is different, right? A heart attack means that your heart is like overworking. I'm not a medical professional, but they keep saying cardiac arrest, but not heart attack. I think we just put the two together, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, though that's my big reason. I feel like the dominant society could have looked at it in a way of if he kept increasing, because if Kevin Samuels gets 10 million followers, right? Or it's 10 million people that know who he is, 30% of those people are gonna keep watching him. You know what I'm saying? And just as much as women hated him, who was calling into the shows all the time? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't putting nobody's, like no gun to anybody's head to call in and for them to call in and ask for any advice on how to get a man. All right. But for those who hate Kevin Samuels, don't comment on this. For those who follow Kevin Samuels, please feel free to join the discussion. If you have an opinion about it, let me know in the comment section. But that's my reason why I feel like he could have been taken out. Now, of course, there's the theories about the Red Bulls. You know what I'm saying? He could have had a heart attack based off of that. But I've been seeing a lot of rumors talking about he popped the Viagra and all this. Like, y'all stop the cap. We got to wait until the autopsy comes out. I think investigation does need to be done as far as that woman that he was with that night, because I'm just not buying it. You know, I'm not buying it. I'm a firm believer in anything can happen. Like the whole Nipsey Hussle situation, I felt like that was a setup. I don't feel like it was some random hater that hated on him that went and killed him and he still hasn't had a trial yet. I don't believe all that, you know. But in this case, I am a conspiracy theorist. I got my tinfoil kufi hat on and I'm reaching. So let me know in the comment sections what y'all think. But yeah, and I want to address this other thing. All this cap about him being broke, y'all shut the hell up with that. That man was not broke. Come on. With his YouTube revenue alone, there's no way that he could be broke. Come on, man. He was getting, like, he had videos with over 1 million views on it. Those are pretty big checks. And he did videos Monday through Friday for like 2 hours long. So anyway, that's what I feel like they could have, that's the reason somebody could have had to kill him as far as the dominant society. That's what I look at, right? But let me know in the comment sections. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm tripping. Follow me at JAYR3D on TikTok and Instagram. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/RedsView. But anyway, these are my opinions. Let me know in the comment section what you think. This is J Red Reds View signing out.